What is up, guys? We are back with another tutorial for our RPG series. Today we're going to be focusing on stamina, sprinting, stuff like that. Because we did our HUD widget just the other week, so this week we're just going to expand on that. We're just going to continue it, keep the ball rolling, just so we can keep our hands dirty, and let's get right into it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to actually go inside of the um, no, in fact, let's go to settings. Go to your settings. It's right here next to Marketplace. Go to Project Settings. And scroll down. Inside of the Engine section, there should be Input. You want to create a new action mapping. This action will let you know, it just makes it easier so you can know, okay, this button that I set up is this button. So, I already made the action. But if you want to make a new one, I'll just delete it and redo it, no problem. Is you click the plus button right here, and we're going to make an action sprint. So I'm just going to type in sprint, and then in this drop down, I'm going to type the word left shift because I'm going to use left shift for this. This way that I know, and the engine knows that left shift is sprint, and I can reference it whenever I like. So now that that's done, automatically save, so you don't need to worry about it. Exit out of there. Get it right on out of there. And let's actually go into our third person blueprint. So we're going to use this at some point, so don't worry about that. We're also going to use the jump at some point. I want to expand this because I'm going to need this later. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a function. Not a function. Actually, we're going to create a variable. Just like last time, create variables is right here. We're going to call this is sprinting. I know this may sound confusing to some of you, but trust me, it'll all make sense later. This is a function, or a variable, sorry, I keep saying function. This is a variable that is going to be used to say, hey, do you think this is actually sprinting? Is it sprinting? Yeah, then let's sprint. If it's not sprinting, then it's false. It's not correct. So what we're going to do here is we're actually going to go and type in the word sprint. Now we just created this action. This is our input. And it knows that it's our input. Now what we're going to do, we're going to make another one of those. We're going to set both of them for pressed and released. So when it's pressed, it's going to know that it's true that we're sprinting. When it's released, we're going to keep it as false. The next thing we need to do is we're going to type in the word character move. There you go. We're going to get character movement. From this, we're going to get max walk speed. It's right here. Get max walk speed. So let's move this around so we have enough room to do more stuff. Probably going to need it. So now we have our character movement and we have our max walk speed. Now my max walk speed is actually 250. I changed it. If you want to know how to change your max walk speed, all you do is click on your character, and in your detail section of the Unreal Editor, scroll down, and under character walking, max walk speed should be right there. Mine for crouching is 100, and mine for max walk speed is 250, so it can actually feel like it's kind of walking and not really running, or just walking really fast. So let's go back to the blueprint. And inside of character blueprint, the next thing we want to do is, from our character movement, we want to set now max walk speed. And I'm going to make a two of those. One, I'm going to have it at 250. 50. Boom. Another one, I'm going to type in 1000. Maybe it doesn't need to be that much. Maybe I'll just say F50. And we're going to drag this back into the character movement. So now this is saying that, is it true that we're running when we're pressed? Yes, it's true that we're sprinting. So when we sprint, we want to go at the speed of 850, which is really fast. We took our character movement so they can understand that the character is actually sprinting at that speed. When released, we want to go back to walk at this speed using our character movement. And you need to make sure that sprinting is true. And this one is false. It's true, it's false. This current value false, but that's not. It's true. So let's test that out. In here, I'm walking. When I hold down left shift, I am sprinting. I actually kind of want to go faster now. Let's see this. Let's go faster. 1000. Oh yeah. Look at that sprint. That's a run. So we're now going to create some stamina stuff. So the first things first, we're going to create a variable. We're going to call it stamina. Make sure this is a float. Oh, didn't save that. Stamina. We're actually going to create another variable called stamina decay. Just like that, we got our two variables. So the first thing we want to do is we want to set our stamina decay. So we're going to set it. Set that to 0.5. Our default is that 0.5. And then we're going to take this 0.1. So next, we're going to go to the movement jump blueprint. So over here in the input, actually let's start with the jump first. Want to set stamina, and from the stamina, what we're going to do is we're going to we're just going to say we're going to set the stamina so every time it jumps, it's going to subtract. I'm going to say maybe 3. I'm going to make sure to get stamina. So every time we press the jump action, it's knowing to grab the stamina and subtract 3 from the set value. So that's what that's doing. So we can actually test that out. So, well, actually, we can't really test it out because we don't have our widget set up, which we'll do in a second. But next, we're actually going to go to our movement blueprint. And we're going to set a new condition. We're going to actually make what's called a branch. So grab a branch, and what it's doing is saying, hey, we want to spread out what we're about to do within this section. So we're going to spread out the movement. We're going to branch it into different pieces for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this axis value. Let's see, it's equal. We want to see if it's equal to 0. If it's equal to 0, or if it's not equal to 0, we're going to set our stamina. If it's not equal to 0, what we're going to do is we're going to actually subtract something. We're going to take our stamina minus the value of our stamina decay. And then all we're going to do is we're going to copy. And we're going to paste it down here. Right there, right into executable. Then we're done for that section. Look at that. Okay, the very next thing we need to do now that we have everything set up, is we need to actually make our gaming HUD. So we're going right inside our HUD. All you do is go back to your example map and double click on gaming HUD if you don't know how to get there. But we're going to go inside our HUD that we made. You can use a totally different widget. It's fine with you. I'd rather person just put it all on one. We're going to drag in a progress bar. This progress bar is going to be our stamina bar. So right here, I'm going to actually type in 1,000 because I want it nice and long. I don't know why. When I think of stamina bars, I think of like really skinny little bars that are normally at the bottom of the screen. I'm actually going to anchor it to the bottom. Make sure it's anchored to the bottom. It's good enough. Just so I know this is stamina bar, I'm just going to rename this stem. I can't spell. Mana. Boom. Just like that. I want to change the color. So I want kind of like a little orangish red. So I'm gonna make it red, and then I'm gonna change it like that. Get that value. Boom. Yep, that's what I want. Then we're going to create a new binding. Now we're going to say, just like last time, just like the last video, we're going to cast to third person character, or whatever character you're using. I'm using a third person character, just like the last video. And cast that to the character. I'm going to get player character. That's the object that we're getting, our player character. And then we want to get stamina. And divide by 100% and plug that right into the return value. Boom, got it. Alright, last thing is we need to actually tell it to go to the viewport. But we already have an event begin play. We don't really want to try to create another event begin play because all we need the begin play for is the HUD, which we already had set up in the previous video. So what we're going to do is just like we did with the mana when we added it to the health, I'm going to drag off this executable and just say set stamina. Just like that. I never defaulted this, but I'm going to default it to 100. Boom. That's all we need to do, I believe. Check if it works. Aha, stamina's in there. And look at that. Every time we move, it goes down. If we run, it should go down faster. In the very next video, we'll actually be talking about regain. So I will tell you exactly how to make it regain. I'll tell you how to let the health regain and the stamina. The stamina will probably just do that first, and the same thing applies for the health and mana. It's the exact same way to do it. All within the main character blueprint and the widget blueprint. So look forward to our very next video. I hope you liked this video. Please hit the like button, subscribe, and look forward to next week's video. We're going to be doing regain systems. I might actually have a really good surprise for you. We may actually do something very difficult. So please look forward to our next video.